Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. Today we're looking at the Year 8 roadmap for Rainbow Six Siege, and this is it. So let's run through it. Season 1, we've got our Brazilian operator, of course that's Brava. She's been fully revealed as of yesterday and will be in the game when the new season launches on March 7th. And then in Season 2, we're going to be getting a Swedish operator, followed by a South Korean operator in Season 3. And then the final season of the year, Season 4, will bring us an operator from Portugal. And then no surprise here, every season is going to have a battle pass, and we're also going to be getting a mid-season event with every season as well. I expect for the first season it's going to be pretty magic. Moving on from that, we have the main features coming with each season, with Season 1 bringing us Mousetrap, that's hitting mid-season, and is going to combat cheaters on console who use mouse and keyboard. Season 2 brings us a rework to Consulate with footage of the actual map, and it looks pretty cool. Very different, and a lot of stuff has been really drastically changed. So for instance, the garage is completely redone, no longer a reinforced wall there. That's going to be sad. I do love playing that, attacking and defending that objective right now, so I'm going to be sad to see that go. But alongside that map rework, we're also getting permanent arcade playlists. Remember, this was actually in the Year 7 roadmap. They delayed it to Season 1 of this year, but it's been pushed back yet again to Season 2, which is surprising because permanent arcades sounds technically super simple, as it's just previous playlists coming back in and, cycling them through. So very surprising to see it yet again delayed. Then in Season 3, we have Quick Match 2.0. And they were very light on the details here, so we don't know much about the new Quick Match. Then we have in Season 4 a brand new map set in Portugal, so that'll be cool to get our hands on. Moving on from that, we have balancing. So we've got the immersive reload, which is just reload cancellation gone. It's not a rework, it's not immersive reload, it is just a tweak to the current system. Season 2, we have a rework of Frost. So the audience at the SI booed when this was shown off. So operators will be able to revive themselves in a Frost mat, which sounds terrible. But the second half of it was really cool. So the operators who get caught on a Frost mat will not be able to run. They'll be limited to walking speed once they get up, which is a hell of a nerf. And if that lasts like the rest of the round, that is going to be horrible. And they also leave a blood trail behind them as well as they move. I'm assuming maybe if someone else revives you from the Frost mat, or maybe you get a Finka boost after you've self-revived from the mat, maybe that will take away the kind of debuff you'll be getting, but that is something else. Then in Season 3, we have a brand new observation blocker gadget for defenders. Now this is a gadget that blocks vision for drones only, not your actual operator. So it's going to help to limit what drones can see. It's interesting, it's going to open up some interesting kind of tactical stuff, but because it's only blocking the drones, it's not going to be powerful, I think, anyway, but we'll see. And then Season 4, we have a revamped shield mechanics. Now, this is good and bad, so you're not going to be a hipfire anymore from the shield, as your weapon will actually be behind the shield, and you're going to be able to reload while the shield is in front of you, so that's cool. Also, you're going to have free look, so you could have your shield blocking a door, but you can actually look left and right. So your situational awareness is going to be far better, and you don't have to obviously turn to look at something while not keeping your shield protecting you in a different direction. That is wonderful too. Not to mention, it also looks like you're going to be able to knock back enemies. So if they come at you, you can actually bounce them back, kind of like an air jab or Oryx charges someone. So that's also pretty cool. But that is a long way away in Season 4, so we'll see when we get there. Then moving on to the next thing, we have player protection. This, of course, is your reputation system. So there's voice chat restrictions coming in Season 1. So that means that if you're being very bad in voice chat, you'll get automatically muted. But other players can unmute you, so you can still communicate if people want to. And we've also got player commendations. This means that when you're in a game with another player, you can tell the system that that person is good at communicating or doing certain things, so that the system knows that they're being good. Then there's also rewards and special packs, it looks like, for the reputation system. And there's also new ranked playlist requirements and more. The ranked playlist requirements sounds like you have to have a good reputation to get into ranked. So if it's too low, they're just not going to let you play ranked. So don't be a douche. But overall, pretty minor things and just the evolution, of course, of the reputation system, which is slowly evolving. However, behind the scenes, that will be a ton of work. Then we've got player comfort, so there's going to be gadget interaction improvements. This was kind of shown off, and I'll just wait till we actually get to play with it and see what it's like. We're also going to be getting a free camera in match replay. Potentials there are huge, because that can be used by regular players making just cool clips. It can be good for content creators. It also is going to be awesome for the esports as well, setting up different camera views and all that. It's going to be really nice to check all that out. Console is also getting the privacy options, which allows you to change your name in-game so that you can go incognito, which I love doing. It's basically your streamer mode, but they call it the privacy mode, and that is coming to console. That's been on PC for quite some time. I love it. Can't wait for it to hit console. But console is also getting the ability to pick from different presets for controller button map layout, and also the ability to remap the buttons however you want. They also mentioned being able to lean on console without having to aim down sights, and you can customize it to work that way if you want. And we don't have a definitive release date for most of the stuff in the player protection and player comfort sections. That's just going to be spread out over the year. And then finally we finish with onboarding. So there's a lot in here. So beginner challenges are coming in with season 1. Anyone can do this, so if you're a veteran to the game, you can still go and work your way through these challenges as well. But absolutely brilliant for new players, and that is very, very good. And I hope this will lead to veteran or prestige kind of challenges in the future, but obviously not this year. It is not mentioned whatsoever. Then we've got in season 2 a big upgrade to the shooting range. So this is tremendous. We're going to have moving targets and also little balls that represent heads. So you're going to have the ability to absolutely get way better, warm up in Rainbow Six Siege, and it looks perfect. So I'm very happy with that. Then there's going to be playable tutorials set in a similar location to the shooting range. These also look amazing. And again, this is aimed at new players, so don't expect anything too complex here, but it means you can play around with the kind of setups and gives you a good idea of how the operators work. So wonderful. This is brilliant. Siege has needed this for literally more than 5 years. So very good to see that. And then we've got the Defender AI playlist in season 4. This looks freaking amazing. So this is an AI generated playlist. So the actual AI has learned from people playing the game, and it has now started to play the game as they do. So it means if you play this, it looks like it's 3v3 and it's AI controlled characters and yourself. And the way it works is you attack, and defenders set up as you normally would see them do it. They'll put their gadgets where you would normally see it, and they'll do things that players would normally do. So you can get an idea of how to play the game without having to jump in and get your ass kicked right away, which is incredible. And this is far beyond anything I could have imagined Siege developing. So, and this is, AI right now is just exploding all over the place. This looks sensational. It's only 3v3, so there's definitely limitations with it. It's also only attacker, so you play on the attacker team. They do say in the future they're going to have a defender version where you play as the defender and the AI attack you. But this is cool. Very impressed with that. What I could also imagine is this might lead to something else. So in casual, I hate it when you join a game in progress. So imagine instead of getting a brand new player that gets, annoyingly pushed into an ongoing game, you would get an AI replacement. I think that'd be amazing. So I could see stuff like that being in the future. Anyway, let's move on. So before we get to the conclusion for this video, where I'm going to go and give my opinion on everything here, let's talk esports and just really quickly. So in May, there's going to be a major in Copenhagen, Denmark. I hope I get invited to that. I would freaking love to visit Denmark. Then we've got November, an R6 major in the US. And then for the 6 Invitational, which is usually in Canada, it is now moving around the world. And next year, it will be in Brazil. So that is freaking cool. And that brings us now to the conclusion. So for me, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I thought that we were going to have a big reduction in maps, and that is the case. We've got 1 map rework and 1 new map. That's it. For season 1, very low amount of content. Season 2, pretty decent content. Season 3, pretty low content, especially Quick Match 2.0. That, even if it makes a good impact to the game, it is still going to be pretty boring. Then we've got season 4, which has pretty decent content. What I'm really sad about is events. So very sad to see that we're only getting one per season. I loved it when it was two per season a couple of years ago. That was like a dream time for me. So very sad to see one event per year. Now there is the permanent arcades coming in season 2, so that could bring back old events and stuff, and they could do something quite interesting with that. So maybe that'll make up for it in my eyes, but sad to see just one event. The big surprise for me is definitely the big technical stuff, like the AI playlist. That's pretty damn cool. The playable tutorials, that's really cool. The new shooting range, that's freaking awesome. The challenges, great. I wish there was veteran challenges, but still good step forward. And I could imagine maybe a veteran's challenges in year 9. And not to mention, they also said that they are planning for the next 10 years of Rainbow Six Siege. So definitely no Siege 2. And if they do manage to go for another 10 years, man, that will be like, I can't even imagine what Siege is going to look like in 10 years' time. But certainly interesting that they say they do want to go for that period of time, which means might have a lot more videos to make on Siege over the years. But yeah, what I do want to say about this roadmap is there's less. I definitely feel as if there is a significant drop down, but I also don't want to downplay the incredible technical stuff that's coming in here that would have been in the works for, I think, probably multiple years. So yeah, it's content wise, I feel like it's low. Technical wise, I feel like it's really high, and it's kind of in the middle of what my expectations were. The content is about where I thought it was going to be. Like I say, the less map reworks, the less new maps. I'm sad about that big time. One event per season, sad about that too. But overall, it's looking reasonable. I think Siege is going to potentially be in a pretty decent place, because I feel last year it ended in a bad place, especially with the server issues and all that. But if Mousetrap works, if the servers are under control, if they're able to keep the cheaters down, then it could work out pretty good this year. So fingers crossed, and we will see. I'm going to put down some predictions though. So what's going to get delayed? We had a ton of delays last year. I think the Defender AI playlist will get delayed and show up sometime next year instead of this year. But the rest of it I look at, and I'm not sure that there's anything that kind of stands out as something that's going to get delayed significantly. So hopefully the rest of it's all going to show up on time. But yeah, I'm relatively happy with year 8. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.